Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Let's go. Week 10. You guys already know what it is. World of Matchups. Coming to you live and direct from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am your host, Dexter Reed. Coming in from the other side of the glass, my A1 from day one and producer of WOM. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Spencer the Wiz. Good morning, bro.
Yeah, good morning. It's funny watching that intro. Just it feels like a lifetime ago. I
I
remember
know,
like
man.
just at the time I barely knew how to use that editing software to like make good intro, and yeah, it's just a lot of memories. It's
Yeah.
fun to watch it.
World of Matchups, we've been in business now for a couple of years, man.
It's been
We've
a
been doing
while.
this for a while. We got a ton of videos. Week 10, guys. Let's try to make you some money. Last week, Spencer and I had our best week of the season. Both of us hit double-digit wins. Spencer, set it off.
Yeah, we're starting things off with an international game. I don't. Is this one in Germany? I always
This
forget.
one is in Munich. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel bad for the fans, man. What a game to choose for them to see. You get an
Dupsify.
international game and they put Daniel Jones up there. We'll see how it goes. I'm not. I don't know. These international games are always very bizarre. Like the crowds are always very anemic, which in a way makes a lot of sense. Besides the fact that how many Carolina Panthers fans exist, in Munich, Germany. I think they just go for the spectacle, but the crowds are always so just weird in these games. And I don't know. I guess the biggest storyline coming into this game is Bryce Young, because his career in Carolina was over, right? Completely done. Andy Dalton gets into a car crash. Thankfully he's okay, obviously, but in comes Bryce Young again. Derek Carr comes back. The stage is set for, this nice, easy comeback for him. And then Bryce Young plays a really nice game. Like, really, actually, a pretty darn nice game. He had an interception, but it was like stolen from the wide receiver. He actually threw a really nice ball in there. So the question's like up in the air again now. What are they going to stick with him? So every week, man, the top of the draft order just gets more and more interesting. Everyone needs a quarterback, and then now suddenly there's another wrench thrown into it. The Titans won last week, so things just get crazier and crazier. I don't really understand what's going to happen in this game because bad teams on international, it's like you almost just want to take the plus points, like whoever it ends up being. And I think it is the Carolina Panthers, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're plus 6.5.
I'm just going to take it because so many of these like teams that don't used to international travel, they're like stinkers, man. It's going to be like
Yeah.
a 13-10 game. You
Yeah.
just like that's just kind of how I see it. The Giants defense is pretty good. Carolina obviously isn't just going to go down in March and score 1,000 points. Yeah, so I actually think this line is kind of bizarre. I'm not going to say I really like it because I hate betting on the Giants or the Panthers. I don't like betting on either of these teams, but just give me the plus points because it just feels like kind of the identity of these international games between bad teams.
Yeah, I agree. I can't bet on the Giants anywhere. I mean, even versus a lowly Panther team in Munich, I just feel like Carolina, after getting a win that they shouldn't have gotten with a quarterback that was pretty much left for dead, is now going to play really well. Surprising move. They signed Chuba Hubbard to a long-term deal, even with Jonathan Brooks waiting in the wings. They get rid of Deontay Johnson. Adam Thielen, he's not 100%. So that gives their young stars an opportunity to shine here. Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker, Jatavion Sanders. These guys aren't scrubs. And this could be like a second chance for Bryce Young in season. I'm going to take the plus points. I just don't trust the Giants. I know their defense is the better defense. I know Daniel Jones is set up to have a monster game here. I still don't trust him. I just can't trust the Giants. They're just so bad. And when I have two bad teams on a neutral field, give me the plus points. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll wake up tomorrow morning to get ready to go to church at 9 a.m. and it'll be like 13-10 Giants, something like that. I just can't see a world where the Giants beat up on a bad team because they're a bad team. Losers of 4 out of 5. They're spiraling down the sink fast, and there's no upside to the Giants. What's the upside to the Giants? Now, I know Tyrone Tracy is good. Malik Neighbors is good. But are they good to the tune of a touchdown win in Germany where there's no home field advantage? I don't think so. I'll take the Carolina Panthers. Won't take them with a whole lot of confidence, but I'll pull and pray on this one and hoping that their young wide receivers break out.
All right, let's go to the regular slate here. At 10 o'clock, we have the New England Patriots traveling to Chicago to play the Bears. Man, it's so hard to I don't even know what to say about the Bears. It's just,
They're not good.
yeah,
The
I guess
Bears this year are the same as the Bears last year. Go look at the numbers, guys. It's the same team. It's just they got a different quarterback. Nothing is different. Nothing is different.
Eberflus will not see the field next year for the Chicago Bears.
He should
The
be fired
expectations
now.
are just way too high.
He should
And
be
also, it's
fired
like
now.
their defense has played well all season long. You know what I
State
mean?
them.
And if they had any sort of offense, this is like a 6-win team right now that we're talking about. You can flip
They're headed to the
easily a couple of
playoffs.
those losses.
Yep.
And now it's just like, I don't have any confidence for them to do much of anything. This is a 6-point game. So it's like, man, they're just begging you to take the Chicago Bears here. And I want to. And it's like, this is a toss up, but ah, gosh. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of the tougher games to call. It's like easy, right? You just take the Chicago Bears here. And I guess I'm going to go opposite. It's like, I feel like everyone and their mother is going to be on the Chicago Bears. Like, it's going to be the default pick that everyone does because the Patriots are bad. Everyone's like pretty high in Chicago still. But I'm not a fan of what Caleb Williams is doing. Like, he never looks great. So the Patriots defense obviously is going to show up, and Drake May is pretty good. He makes a lot of good passes here and there, and he's got another week under his belt. And that gives me a little bit of confidence. I could easily see a really bad backdoor cover for the Patriots here. It's like it's going to be a 10-point game for a really long time or a 14-point game for a long time. And I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of tomfoolery at the end of this game that's going to sneakily let the Patriots cover somehow.
Totally. I mean, I have no faith in the Bears at all. Like none. Them being 6-point favorites to anyone right now to me is ridiculous. Caleb Williams has not looked good, guys. At all. Not at all. And here's a underrated storyline is that here comes Drake May. Now, it's versus a very, very good defense. So don't get me wrong here. But like the Keenan Allen experiment has been a monumental bust. I feel like they don't use Swift as much as they need to. Dunze doesn't get the ball enough simply because I don't feel like they can really get him the ball. I mean, the difference between Justin Fields and what you're seeing now with Caleb Williams, guys, they're the exact same football team as last year. They're supposed to be so much better than they are. Now, will their defense make a play or two here that could blow this game open? I'm willing to say yes, but my valuable soldiers, I've got some valuable soldiers that cover spreads right now. One is the Jags, and the other is the Patriots. They'll might only cover by a half point, but a cover, guys, is a cover. I don't care about the Patriots. I care about winning money. And I just don't trust Chicago here to score a ton. The under is the real winner here. You know what I mean? It's starting to be cold in Chicago, but you got another cold weather team coming in with a running back that can grind it out. Ramondre Stevenson can grind it out. All they have to do is score 17 points somehow, and they're going to cover this game. Give me the Pats +6. Again, not with a whole lot of confidence, but I just don't trust the Bears. And I think you're starting to see where like all the Caleb Williams hype is starting to manifest it in ways where quarterbacks that were picked after him are playing better than him. And the pressure is on for him to have a big game. Guys, he's had one good game all year. One. I mean, they went to Arizona and they got murdered. Murdered. The pressure's on, man. I could see him making mistakes here. They're going to cost him. He's not running a whole ton. Cole Kmet is a ghost. Give me those points. Patriots all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
All right. Now we have the Buffalo Bills traveling to Indianapolis. I mean, I guess the storyline of Anthony Richardson just continues to hover over this team, and they just have bad vibes all around. Michael Pittman is confirmed out for tomorrow. And this is a short line too. What I saw.
-4. Surprising. Something's wrong with this
I'm
line.
setting myself up for failure here, but
Me
I'm
too.
just going to go ahead and say this is my best bet. I just have to have confidence in that. Sometimes, obviously they get the line right a lot of the times, but man, how are the Colts going to move the ball without their best player? I know they're going to feed Jonathan Taylor 1,000 times, but you don't think the Buffalo Bills know that? I mean, I just don't like watching that game against the Vikings. It's like they could do nothing like all
Nothing.
game long.
Nothing.
And the Buffalo Bills are nuclear hot. I mean, they're just firing on all cylinders pretty much all year, At 7-2, that's a warpath right there. That's a really improved team. And I guess it's almost like a trap game. I mean, it is. It's setting itself up to be, but I'm willing to take the trap because one team is a lot better than the other. I mean, they're talking about trending downwards for the Colts. Looked like they're going to be competent for a good while there. And now, like, Anthony Richardson is yawning on the sideline. That guy has never touched in the field as a Colts player. It's to the point where I almost feel that if Joe Flacco was hurt, they would like put in someone else. It's like Anthony Richardson would almost be the emergency quarterback. Like it just
Hmm.
seems like the relationship has soured that much. So we'll have to see. But yeah, 4 points is not nearly enough for a Colts team that is going to be lucky to score 13 against the Bills. And we know the Bills offense is going to be moving it down the field. Talking about indoors too. This is like the perfect conditions for the Bills to just steamroll this team.
They should. Something about this line is weird to me. This should be at least a touchdown line, and it's only 4. I'm going to go ahead and take the trap as well. I'm going to make the Bills my best bet as well. No Michael Pittman. Anthony Richardson, that's a black cloud over the franchise right now. They don't know what to do. I mean, they're literally scrambling with what to do with him.
I
Bill's
think they
run D
really
is
hurt
not
themselves.
great, but will Jonathan Taylor be enough to save this team? I mean, the Bills can really score, man. I mean, I know Amari Cooper's banged up, Keon Coleman's out, but they still have Khalil Shakir, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook, Ray Davis. I mean, they got studs all over the field. Josh Allen should go crazy in this game. I just don't see how this is only a -4 line. That's nuts to me when you consider old man Flacco could do nothing in Minnesota last week to come home and face another juggernaut of a team that can score. This should be a resounding Bills W. I say they win this game by 7 to 10 points. If somehow Indianapolis wins this game, I'll be really shocked, honestly. I mean, how are they going to do it? Alec Pierce, Josh Downs. I mean, maybe. I mean, is the Bills defense that bad? I mean, I don't think so. I think this is the type of game where the Bills simply just outscore them. They just outscore them. And they can outscore them to the tune of -4. I'm taking Buffalo, and I'm taking them with confidence. They're my best bet. I really believe that the Bills are sitting back and watching what these other teams are doing. All the Buffalo Bills players, they were watching Thursday night. They're watching Kansas City. They know that, like, there's still an outside shot of them getting that 1 seed, and then the road through the AFC rolls through Buffalo and Highmark Stadium. While unlikely to happen, it's still possible. And they're not going to have any hiccups here. They should blast this team, and they should blast them to pieces. Bills -4 is the play.
All right, let's go to the Vikings Jaguars game. I believe Trevor Lawrence is out for this one.
He
That's
is.
another weird line, man. It's like, do they just expect the underdogs to play the best games of their lives this week? 6.5 against Mac Jones. I mean, something is weird here. Again, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll just take the bait because I'm not. There's no way I'm betting on the Jaguars to play up, or like Vikings to play down to their competition here. Mac Jones is like, he's just a dude. He got ran out of New England pretty quick. After his first year, the Vikings kind of back on track a bit. I mean, they're 6-2. It's not like, did they ever really get off track? And thinking back to that Rams game with the horrible face mask in the end zone, it's like this team really doesn't had that many hiccups. They're going to burn this team. I mean, I don't like the Jaguars. I think they're a terrible football team. So when I think about it like that, what are the Jaguars going to do? I mean, at home, what does it matter? Like they're lucky to get any fans to come into the stands. They're 2-7. It's another wash year for them. Trevor Lawrence might be out for the rest of the year. They're just going to like sim the rest of the season. Doug Peterson's gone, right? Because you can't pay Trevor Lawrence like $1 zillion and then like the blame has to go somewhere for the season. And I think it is going to be Doug Peterson. Whether or not he deserves that, I guess it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't know. This team should have been so much better than 2-7. I mean, it's really kind of shocking how disappointing they've been all year long. And it's not like I don't think they're going to have a resurgence under Mac Jones. I really don't. That's just too much. The Vikings are a much better team than this, and I really don't understand where 6.5 comes from.
This is what you call a classic trap game. We talk about these kind of games a lot. My new valuable soldier. Spencer's not on board, guys, but I'm on board. Okay? Because the last 2 weeks I've told you guys repeatedly how the Jags are better than people think, and they've covered both weeks. Everybody thought the Eagles were going to blast them. They should have beaten the Eagles, let's be honest, and I'm going to take them again. I don't care if they cover by half point. It's still a cover. Somehow, some way, this team at home will play good enough to cover 6.5 because everybody and their mother is going to be gassed off what they saw Sunday night. And there's no way that Minnesota's going to fly to South Florida and roll over and die. They're going to blast the Jaguars. That's the same thing you guys said up against the Eagles, and you said it the same thing about the Packers, and they covered both times, and so I'm going to take them to cover again. Quarterback, to me, is not even an issue. It really isn't. I mean, Mac Jones has been dying to play. Mac Jones was a top pick? Put him on the field and see what he can do. Guys, there's zero pressure to play. You're 2-7. At this point, you're just home earning a paycheck. I think they can cover this. Dude, you know what? I think they can win this game. I think they can win this game. Minnesota, to me, has been winning with smoke and mirrors all season long. There's always been some reason why they blow up and kill somebody. Last week it was Joe Flacco. You know what I mean? Like, there's always been something. It's always been something. I don't think they can keep this level of production up. Yeah, they're a really, really good team. Don't get me wrong. But a touchdown favorite on the road versus a bad team should be an absolute lock. And this is the type of thing where everyone's going to just lay everything they have on Minnesota, and they're going to get burned. This is how, guys, this is how the casinos and the sports books stay in business. Games like this. And Trevor Lawrence being out, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. They're going to be down in the game, and they're going to backdoor at the last second, and you guys are all going to be pissed. That's what I think is going to happen, and I've seen this happen repeatedly, and so I'm just going to continue to go with them until they burn me. Jags plus 6.5 is the play.
All right, now we have the Denver Broncos. They're going to play the Chiefs in Kansas City. Yeah, this is a pretty short line here, but I think you kind of have to. It's 7.5. I was right about the Denver Broncos. I mean, from what I've seen recently from them, they're not good. They're not a good football team. Bo Nix is not that good. It's okay, but he just sails on a lot of passes, man. When you watch him, he especially on the deep ball, he's way off like all the time. You have to take you almost like have to take the 7.5 because the Chiefs just like can't find a way to just convincingly win a football game, even though they're 8-0. It's like there's been a lot better 8-0 teams in NFL history, that's for sure. I don't know. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I feel like I'm going to burn myself, obviously. And it's like, how can you possibly take them? But I don't know. I just don't see a world where the Denver Broncos offense just moves the ball down the field against the Kansas City Chiefs defense, because that's obviously the reason that the Kansas City Chiefs are 8-0 right now. I mean, let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes had a pretty bad season, all things considered. I mean, kind of plain and simple. But I could see Bo Nix hasn't been a turnover machine this year, and I just feel like he's due for another kind of just stinker of a game. So, there's so many scenarios, and it's obviously a division game, and it's like, oh, it's 7.5. You have to take the Broncos. I just feel like it's getting set up for the Chiefs to cover by 10 points. It's like it's going to be. I could even see 20-10. I just don't see a world where the Broncos are lighting up the scoreboard.
Yeah, me either. I think this is set up for everybody to want to take the Broncos coming off a really bad loss to the hands of, I think it was the Ravens. And the Kansas City Chiefs are just playing a lot better. The addition of DeAndre Hopkins is going to be everything for the Kansas City Chiefs, guys. And what you're seeing now is the Chiefs do this stuff in season. They just get better each game in season. They've really like licked their wounds, where like most teams would fold. I mean, if Andy Reid is not in the running for Coach of the Year, what are we doing? Lost both his ones on the outside. Lost Pacheco. I mean, he's down. He's down. Like everyone's hurt. All his tight ends are hurt. Dude, and they're 8-0. I mean, what do you guys want? Seriously, like, what do you guys want? I mean, when you lose that many players and you're still undefeated, and you just go find old school guys and bring them back, and they just continue to win. What Hunt has done is just been unreal. Seriously, I mean, Kareem Hunt looks better than Pacheco. The guy was on the couch. You know what I mean? They're gonna stack the box to stop him, and I think this is where you see the air attack really show up this week. Travis Kelsey eats here because DeAndre Hopkins is gonna be on Sertan. I see this as being a resounding Kansas City W, and I think this is where you start to see the Chiefs take off. They're going to start to soar. Let the Chiefs beat the Bills in Highmark Stadium, and now we're having a real conversation about going undefeated. We really are here because they're better than every other team left on the schedule after that. I think they punched Bo Nix in the mouth. He has never played at Arrowhead before. That's a humbling experience for a rookie quarterback. The Chiefs' defense is the best defense in all of football. To me, this is not arguable, especially after what you saw on Thursday night from the supposed other AFC juggernauts to the overhit in the third quarter. That stuff never happens to Kansas City. At home, they're going to be ready to drill this team. Patrick Mahomes, the ankle sprains kind of got me a little worried. The bookends worry me, but the beef of the middle of that offensive line is going to be enough to can just run the ball. They are just going to run the ball at Denver. Guys, the Chiefs are a running team now. They have changed their identity in season last year, and it has never changed. Okay, the style Chiefs, they're gone. They're going to win games like the old school Patriots. They're going to grind games out. They're not going to cover a whole lot of times. The defense is going to be great. Patrick Mahomes is not going to have to do a whole lot, and they're going to win. This is how they're going to win the Super Bowl, too, guys. They're not going to all of a sudden turn it on. This is how they're going to win, and they're going to blast this team on Sunday. I'm taking the Chiefs with confidence. Don't let the 7.5 scare you off. I know they haven't covered a lot this year, but I think this is where they get right versus a bad team and a rookie quarterback with not a whole lot outside of Cortland Sutton. Don't be scared. Kansas City all day. Let's roll.
We have the Atlanta Falcons. They are going to New Orleans. I think this is a 3.5-point spread, if I'm not mistaken. It's
Yep.
like really close, but yeah, I can't take the Saints. Obviously, I know it's in New Orleans, and
Saints are such garbage.
let Derek Carr throw one interception in the first quarter. He might get booed off the field. I mean, they're
So
ready to
bad.
start throwing things at him.
He
I
got
know
he,
it.
he got Chris Olave killed. Can we have a
He
moment of silence for Chris Olave?
and Juwan Johnson. I mean, he's throwing suicide balls the moment he gets back.
Hospital.
Crazy.
He throws hospital balls at an alarming rate, man. I've never
He
seen
comes
anything
back
like
from
it.
injury and just absolutely gets his receiver murdered, man. He's had a very Derek Carr season.
God, Derek Carr is so bad, bro.
Just thinking back to that Panthers game, it's like fourth down. All you need is a field goal. And his fourth down ball is a like 30-yard bomb into double coverage on the sidelines. It's like this guy cannot help himself. It's like destiny, like when they're in that situation that they're gonna lose.
Death, taxes, and Derek Carr, guys. I'm telling you.
So, I mean, they can't play nearly as bad as they did last week. Like it's almost physically impossible. I mean, how do you lose to the Panthers? It's just such a terrible loss. But I think it's going to happen again, man. They're just downward spiraling, They're going to draft a quarterback next year. I mean, they do not run their team well. They are a very poorly run organization. You bring in Derek Carr, you draft Hayner, and then you draft another quarterback in Spencer Rattler. So it's like you're forced to draft a quarterback next year, right? You can't roll with any of these guys. And now you're going to be in this weird position where it's like, who do you keep as quarterback on this team? I don't know. It's such a mess. It's like they won't even give Hayner a chance to get into the game. I don't know what to expect out of this team. And the Falcons, obviously, they're 6-3. I mean, they're playing really well. Darnell Mooney's having, a career year, obviously. And I think they just get better and better. I mean, I just feel like this is going to be a team that is really going to get ready to make a playoff push. There's always weird shenanigans that go on. And like, if you really feel, a little scared about this game, just buy the extra half point, and I feel like you can sleep real easy at night because I could definitely see a field goal game where things get kind of funky and, they have to have a game winning field goal. So, but even then, I can't bet on the Saints like pretty much at any point in the rest of the season because if you can't bet on them to beat the Panthers, then who can you bet on them?
Exactly.
To beat.
Exactly. I can't touch the Saints here. They fired Dennis Allen, which was the right move. You alluded to it, Spencer, and it's just the truth. They're just a poorly run franchise because there's good players. I like Spencer Rattler. I'm not willing to give up on Spencer Rattler yet. Coaching matters. You know what I mean? Coaching matters. And so Alvin Kamara gets a contract which is mind-blowing to me. He's going to be like literally all they have left. Chris Olave is dead. Everyone's hurt. I mean, what's the motivation if you're a New Orleans Saint other than to basically collect a paycheck? Yeah, it's a division game. If you're worried about the hook, by the point. I mean, the Falcons are literally getting better and better every single week. A little worried about the hit pointer on Drake London, but outside of that, rock and roll. Kyle Pitts is having a good year. Bijan is Bijan. Algier is Algier. Just protect Kirk Cousins, and this should be a resounding Falcon W. I mean, what do the Saints have? The Saints are basically like gonna have fans wearing bags over their head. They're those Saints again. I mean, that's it. They just haven't been the same since Drew Brees left. The franchise has run so badly. So badly. Let anything happen to Alvin Kamara in this game, and they're going to get murdered in their own building. This is one of my favorite picks this week. I'd be absolutely shocked if the Saints come to play here. What's the motivation? You just lost to the freaking Panthers. The season's over. It's just complete and utter disarray. I can't think of another more chaotic team in the NFL right now. I like the Panthers right now more than I like the Saints. I like their upside. I like their promise. I seriously do. I mean, the Saints literally might be the worst football team in the league right now. And Derek Carr is garbage. He is absolute hot garbage. He's trash.
He got Dennis Allen fired twice in his career.
How do you get the same coach fired twice in two different franchises?
That's amazing.
I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? And seriously, like Michael Thomas, for all the Antonio Brown CTE that's to that guy too, a lot of the stuff he was saying on X is true, man. It's true. I mean, Derek Carr, if I ended up getting traded to go be a wide receiver for that guy, I would take out an extra life insurance policy because he throws more hospital balls than anybody I've ever seen. He literally Chris Olave, he may not recover from this. And now he's on IR. You might not see him until next year. Hopefully be with another quarterback. So I don't see a world where the Saints do anything in this game. I'm taking a Falcons -3.5.
Now we have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Tampa Bay. Man, Tampa Bay has such a tough schedule this year. They kind of can't catch a break, it feels, on a weekly basis. And they're injured at the wrong time.
They're in bad shape, man.
In comes Christian McCaffrey, and you just know that's gonna galvanize the San Francisco team. Who, yeah, that division's real tough, man. It's a tight race, which it has been for a long time now. And the San Francisco 49ers are favored by a touchdown. It kind of feels like it's going to be a push. It's like every week you kind of think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to lay down, and they just don't.
They never lay down, bro.
Yeah,
they don't go quietly.
Like a career year.
Baker Mayfield's good, man. They could have won that game in Kansas City. Todd Bowles needs to go for 2 there, man. You go for 2 there on the road, and then you live with that decision. I think they would have got it. They gave Patrick Mahomes the opportunity to come back and win that game. You on the road, you go for two to win the game. You play to win the game, and they blew it. Todd Bowles has no balls. That's a win. They could now be coming home versus the Niners, galvanized, and instead they're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, I think so. I just think Christian McCaffrey is just they're gonna feed him the ball like 30 times. They're not gonna slowly put him back in. I just think that anytime he plays, it's gonna be everything. And the 49ers just need this game desperately. They're up 4-4. They can't afford to lose it. I think it's gonna just be a very desperate team that's gonna be very excited to have their guy back. And yeah, I think they're I like the over in this game, whatever that is. It's 50. Uh, Even if maybe you put it on a teaser or something, and then you really feel confident about that because I don't think either of these teams are going to have a hard time scoring on Sunday.
Yeah, even with their scrubs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can score. You saw what happened last week in Kansas City. They were never not out of that game. They had an opportunity to win that game, and they were doing it without Jalen McMillan, scrubs like Sterling Shepard. You know what I mean? The running backs, Bucky Irving. You know what I mean? Like those guys are good, man. They're good. I mean, there's no way around it. Cade Otton looked like freaking like Antonio Gates out there was feeding this guy like it was like he was a starting top tier tight end. I mean, they're not bad. And I love Baker Mayfield, man. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you just have to bounce around the league for a while. I mean, look at Sam Darnold. Look at Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield is a top. I think he's like a top 7 quarterback in this league right now. If you took it to Patrick Mahomes and won that game, you know what I mean? What would they be saying? That coaching matters, man. Look, you cannot bet scared, guys, and you cannot coach scared. Scared money don't make money. You'll lose every single time. And that's why I'm not scared here because McCaffrey coming back is going to galvanize this Niner team. It's almost like that's what they have been just waiting for. Let's just get our guy back. Once we get our guy back, then we're back. Like they really feel like Shanahan really feels like we are now going to the Super Bowl. We're going to go on a run and we're going to hit our stride in the playoffs and we're going to go. They really believe this. Juwan Jennings will be back now. Debo should be on the field, but the straw that stirs the drink is CMC. It's CMC, and if they're putting him on the field, it's because he's ready to go. And so I think he's going to absolutely eat. That Tampa Bay run D is trash. They're bad. Their defense in general is bad. I mean, outside of Vita Vea, they have done nothing this year. And so I think there's a lot of points scored in this game, too. I like the over. I would tease the over down if you were scared. But at the end of the day, guys, do you want to max out? Don't be scared then. San Francisco -7 plus the over. $50 on that, man, is a nice beef Wellington Sunday night. I really like the Niners here. I think they open the playbook up. They get all their guys back. They're going to destroy Tampa here. I love the Niners this week.
All right, last game of the morning slate here. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Washington. The Steelers are getting plus points here, and to be honest, that's really surprising me.
That's crazy.
I feel like Mike Tomlin eats rookie quarterbacks for breakfast, and I think you're going to see that here. They're going to hit a meat grinder. I mean,
so
obviously,
too.
the Steelers depend so much on their defense, but this is a good spot. Jaden Daniels is due for like just a wake up call when it comes to hard nose, good defensive football. This isn't. They're not playing the Ravens. This isn't a bad defensive team. This is a I thought this would at least be a pick 'em, but if I were to make the sign myself, I think I'd put the Steelers -2.5. That's a big swing.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, so it's almost like they're baiting you to take it. It's like the Steelers just keep winning football games. At some point, they're going to have to be favored in these matchups. It feels like they're dogs every week, but I like the Steelers, man. I think this is a perfect game for Mike Tomlin. He just does not lose these games very often.
I'm not gassed by the record for the Washington Commanders. Them being 7-2 and having this amazing resurgence under Dan Quinn, who should be in the Coach of the Year running as well. I get it. You know what I mean? It's nice. I love Jaden Daniels. But I think they run into a buzzsaw here versus a team coming off their bye who's got one of the top defenses in the NFL. Russell Wilson has been playing better. Who on the Washington defense worries you? The answer is absolutely nobody. I'm shocked at this line. I think this line should be Pittsburgh -2.5. Tomlin eats rookie quarterbacks. This is one of my favorite bets this week. I love the Steelers to go in there. And I think they're going to run the ball at will and punch this team in the mouth. I think Najee Harris is going to have a very good game. You're seeing the emergence of George Pickens be a real thing. Now, is Washington going to lay down? No, but I mean, what's Washington's signature win? That's the question. Okay? At 7-2, where's their signature win? Where's their at Baltimore win? Where's their at Kansas City win? I mean, where's their at Eagles win? Where's the signature W versus a team that is going to the playoffs this year? There isn't one. And this Pittsburgh team is going to the playoffs. I think something is wrong here. I'm telling you right now, if the Commanders beat the Steelers here, I'm on the train for the rest of the season. I'm on that train. But I think they're going to find a way to lose this game. They'll be in it. It'll be competitive. I like it to be low scoring as well. I like the under in this game, whatever it is. But Steelers are not going away, folks. And Russell Wilson's been playing very, very well coming off the bench. He has looked really, really good. Take the Steelers and take them with confidence. Take them with confidence. I think they win the game outright. Steelers money line if you're feeling frisky, guys. Commanders are playing over their heads all year long.
All right, going into the afternoon games, it's the Tennessee Titans going to the Los Angeles Chargers. That's a snooze fest right there, man.
Jesus.
I think I say this every week, but every time the Chargers play anybody,
they just play so uninspiring football.
Yeah, it's like you're never going to see him on the red zone channel except for like the odd field goal here and
I
there.
feel like I'm watching the Michigan Wolverines with Jim Harbaugh. I mean, they're so boring and vanilla. I fell asleep watching them play. Who was it? The Saints? I had the red zone on. The Saints were on. I caught myself falling out. It's so boring.
It is. And you got a 7.5-point favorite in the Chargers, man. It's like you have to take the Tennessee Titans, but I'm not going to. I mean,
me either.
Will Levis comes back in, and you just know that guy is good for the goofiest. It's going to be close, right? Until like the third quarter. It's right at the end. The Titans are driving down the field with like 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and it's like, oh, they're going to go take the lead. And then, Will Levis will just throw the worst interception you've just ever seen in your entire life. And then it just swings the game. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't like the Chargers at all, but I don't like the Tennessee Titans even more. I mean, they are just such an abysmal football team. And Will Levis is not going to help them after coming back from this injury. I mean, the reality is they're like giving him one last shot for them not to draft a quarterback next year. They're going to. I mean, Will Levis is just not good at football. He's not a franchise quarterback. Backup quarterback, sure. I wouldn't mind Will Levis being my backup to come in. He's really just a younger Taylor Heineke, isn't he? A guy who's like super galvanized whenever he plays football, but ultimately is just so limited in talent that he'll never be the guy who you want to be your starting quarterback. And that's just what his fate is. He's not going to be on the Tennessee Titans next year because it's just a bad situation to put your team in, to have a rookie quarterback, next to Will Levis. They'll trade him for a 6th-round pick to a team that, easily could see like Will Levis going to the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Where like the Dolphins finally need to invest in a backup quarterback, a guy who has some starting, games under his belt. They hope to never see him play a game, but if he steps in, you're like, okay, this guy maybe could win a couple of games while Tua is out. I mean, that's really his fate. And I just don't think he's going to have a good time. I think the Chargers defense is going to do enough to cause enough turnovers where that extra half point on the 7 isn't going to matter.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it either. I think the Chargers win this game going away. Like you said, Will Levis has been horrible. It's my biggest disappointment this year, honestly, because I was super high on him. But this is his last shot. I thought he was going to suit up last week, and he didn't get the call. He suits up this week. This is it. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't see it from Will Levis, he's off all my teams, and he's basically off, the world of matchups radar permanently. I mean, I really was super high on him this year, but, this is an opportunity to see it versus a bad team with a good defense. You should at least cover the 7.5, but I don't think they will. Tony Pollard's got a sore foot. Spears is off again, on again. They got rid of D Hop. Jerry Sneed is out. I mean, they getting rid of Mike Vrabel. I mean, Mike Vrabel must sit back and sip a scotch every Sunday and just laugh because this team has fallen to pieces. I mean, they have crumbled internally worse than any other team I've seen in the NFL this year besides the Saints. And I think they get their doors blown off here. 31-13. I mean, this is the type of game where, like, all of a sudden, the Chargers scored 30 points because the Tennessee defense is not good. They're just not a good football team. I mean, they struggled to beat the Patriots, and they didn't cover at home. This is a game where I think they just get wrecked. And Will Levis, like you said, the guy's got rocks in his head. He's got arm talent, but that's just about it. He's going to put the ball somewhere it doesn't need to go, and it's going to be a resounding Charger W. Chargers money line don't pay nothing. If you're feeling good, lay the 7.5, because scared money don't make money. Titans are absolutely deplorable, and everyone's getting fired.
All right. We have the New York Jets traveling to Arizona. This is actually kind of a sneaky good game because, the Jets, pick up a W. They're probably feeling pretty good. They're favored in this game, 3-16 favored in an away game. I don't know. I don't like the Jets. So I'm going to take the Cardinals in this game. They're at home. Cardinals could put up a good game, man. And I just feel like, I don't know, man. I just, is Aaron Rodgers really going to take this team, a 3-6 Jets team, on a big run with a interim head coach? Devontae Adams obviously is picking up some steam here, and you knew that was going to happen, right? You knew there was going to be a lot of extra juice, and he's going to very quickly become the favorite target, right? Garrett Wilson is going to slowly, I'm not going to say fade out of existence because that's just not true, but I just know these two have a lot of chemistry. So I like an anytime touchdown from Devontae Adams in this game because the Arizona Cardinals defense is not very good. But the Cardinals can put up points, no doubt about it. And I just don't think the Jets can put up a gazillion points. I'm getting plus points out of the Cardinals at home. And the Cardinals are a very inconsistent football team, so I'm not going to put any of my money on this. But if I have to pick one side of this, I'm taking the home dog. That's 5-4 and deservedly so. And I'm not putting a ton of confidence in the Jets to keep this big streak going or start a big streak.
I don't trust the Jets anywhere. And I hate Aaron Rodgers. Okay? I mean, I don't hate any other NFL player more than I hate Aaron Rodgers. So there's that. They've burned me repeatedly. I don't think I've picked the Jets to win right once this year, and so I'm not taking them here. This is not a game that I would put my own money on, but like Spencer said, guys, if I have to choose a side, I'm taking the home dogs. They have played very well at home while being inconsistent. I know what this team can do. They absolutely took the Bears apart last week. They took the Bears apart. And I can see it happening again. Guys, Aaron Rodgers is not finishing the year. He's not. He looks so washed. It's sad because Aaron Rodgers in his prime was a sight to behold. I mean, the guy never turned the ball over. His pocket presence was unmatched. He could put the ball anywhere on the field. Those days are gone, man. And they can't really protect him. He doesn't run. I mean, I know Devontae's there, and this is a smash spot for their offensive players. Brees Hall, Adams, they all should eat because the Cardinal defense is not great. But I am standing on this. At some point, guys, we have to see why Marvin Harrison Jr. was picked 1 overall for wide receivers. We have to see it. We have to see it, and we haven't seen it. I'm not sure if him and Kyler Murray get along. I don't understand what the problem is, but the guy should be catching more than 4 balls for 50 yards every week. The guy was an unstoppable force at Ohio State. I know the NFL is different, but at some point you just got to see more. I don't care if Sauce Gardner's out there. Sauce Gardner is more like Ketchup Gardner to me. He's more of a name. He hasn't done much this year. Trey McBride, James Conner, Steady Eddie. Give me those 1.5 points, man. If the Jets win this game, it's not going to be by more than a point. I just don't trust them. Every time I pick them to win, and they're supposed to win convincingly, they blow it. And I see it happening here as well. The Jets season is over. Jet fans are delusional. They're one of the worst fan bases because they always think they're going somewhere when they're going absolutely nowhere except to the bus station. They're a terrible franchise. They're horribly run. They are, man. You bring Devontae Adams here thinking that's going to save your season. They're terrible. They are horrible. Horrible. I hope they get murdered here. I hate the Jets. I hate Aaron Rodgers. Let's go Cardinals all day, every day, plus 1.5 at home.
All right, jumping over to the Philadelphia Eagles. They traveled to Dallas, but what does it really matter for? Because Dak Prescott is out. And even if he was in this game, I mean, this has been a terrible season for the Dallas Cowboys, obviously. And
Every
we could see it
season is.
coming. We could see
Every
it coming.
season is. Bunch of
You know,
bums.
the writing was on the wall, obviously, for this team. I guess you just like have to hope for a resurgence. It's a 7-point line, which even feels too low. It's like Cooper Rush is going to have a great game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Ezekiel Elliott's getting kicked off the team. I mean, everything is going wrong for them.
So
And
bad.
it's going to be the Rico Dowell show for them, I guess. They should have gone with him so much earlier in the season because the splitting time with Ezekiel Elliott was a disaster. And then every time this guy's on the field, he makes plays. But that's the Dallas Cowboys for you. I can't really bet on the Dallas Cowboys for the rest of the season. And I feel like the lines in their games are going to get bigger as teams start to really just lay it on them. You know, it's the Cowboy season's it's kind of been over even at 3-5. Like, you know, Dak Prescott may just be put on ice at some point, you know, and they're just like, you know, whatever. We'll get a good high draft pick. He'll probably be like an offensive lineman, you know, like such a very Dallas Cowboys thing to do. But Eagles are surging a little bit right now. Their offense certainly looks like it's getting better and better every week. You know, they're putting up like close to, I mean, they're pretty much averaging 30 points a game in the last 3 weeks. That's pretty darn good. I just don't see the Dallas Cowboys stopping them either. And you're always due for a weird letdown game, but I don't know. I feel like more times than not, you're not going to have a letdown in this kind of spot just because Cooper Rush is just not very good.
It's horrible. He's a backup for a reason. Dak's. Dude, like meat's hanging off the bone, dude. What are we doing? We're really talking about trying to play this guy? Guys, Dak's season's over. The Cowboys season's over. Jerry Jones needs to just disappear. You know what I mean? It's just horrible. They're just horrible. Mike McCarthy, I mean, he's going to be the fall guy. And it's not even really his fault, man. They're a bad team right now. Micah Parsons coming back is not going to help. CeeDee Lamb's banged up. I mean, the Eagles they're surging. They don't look great, but they're surging. The addition of Saquon Barkley might be the biggest addition for a team this year because it's literally saving them. Because even though Nick Sirianni is an idiot, he is winning despite himself because of guys like Saquon Barkley. Wide receivers are always hurt. Jalen Hurts got a sore foot. I mean, the Cowboys should find a way to cover this game in Jerry's world, but they're not going to because they're equally as banged up. They're just horrible, man, and they can't run the ball. Zeke has been that's been an unmitigated disaster for them. They're a bad football team, and I don't trust a backup versus that Eagles front four anywhere at all. They're going to run the ball straight at Dallas. They should control the clock, and they should win this game by more than a touchdown simply because they can run the football. I don't trust Dallas anywhere. Dallas Goedert is back. Slim Reaper is still there. A.J. Brown is healthy enough to play. Jalen Hurts is healthy enough to play. They're a healthier team. They're the better team. They're the healthier team. And look, the Eagles are watching Detroit. And they know that, like, literally, time is running out to get this 1 seed, or they're traveling. And I don't think they can beat Detroit in their building. So, you mix all that up together, to me, it's a resounding 7-point win easily. I just don't like Dallas at all here. Dallas is the type of team that if they were smart, they would just lose every game. And the worst decision they ever made was paying Dak all that money. How long is it before CeeDee Lamb forces a trade? I want to know the over-under on that. Because they're not winning anything as long as Jerry Jones is alive and Dak Prescott is at quarterback. That's a fact. Be mad about it all you want, folks. Eagles -7.
Now we have the Sunday night game, which is a really, really good one. It's the Detroit Lions traveling to face the Texans. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is. I'm going to take the Texans. You know what? I feel like since Hutchinson has gone out, they haven't played anybody. You got 2 games of absolute energy, especially the last game. And I mean, I knew it and it was pretty obvious, but like, before the game, you show Aiden Hutchinson in the crowd, everyone goes ballistic, and you blow out the team. But now you're gonna face a Texans team that hasn't played great all season long, so it's like hard to take them in this spot. But they are at home, and Nico Collins, I believe, is designated to return. Maybe not in this game,
He may
so
not. He may not.
we'll have to see. But I just feel like their offense is going to be clicking here. Zadarius Smith, who they traded for, I don't think he's going to play this game for the Lions. So I think that's a big factor. I need to see what this line teams looks like when a good team is clicking on all cylinders offensively. I know the Lions can score a gazillion points, it seems, but something tells me that everybody is like, the Lions are going to blow this team out, and I just think that I'm getting a field goal cushion for a home team who I feel confident is going to score a lot of points in this game. I just take that side. There's just something about this game that I just think that the Lions are going to have a little bit of hiccups here, like coming into the next few weeks. Like I need to see what this team really looks like without Aiden Hutchinson, without all the juice, galvanizing them for the whole game.
I was gonna take the Lions, but listening to you talk, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip here. I'm gonna go Texas plus 3.5. My rationale behind the Lions is just basically because they've just been a freight train recently. But you know what, man? What you're saying is true. And I don't think that Nico Collins is designated to return, but if he does, that just helps. The Texans need this game more than the Lions need this game. Okay, the Texans have been really banged up badly, and they need a good showing. CJ Stroud needs a good showing. The fans are going to be there. It's a big game for them, and I think that they could pull this out and win it after not thinking so a couple minutes ago. Even if they lose the game, you're getting plus money and plus points. And it's not a straight number. It's a crooked number too. It's a hook. I have a funny feeling that this could be maybe the Tank Dell game. And Joe Mixon, I love Joe Mixon. He's one of my favorite running backs. I mean, ask anybody that knows me. I've loved Joe Mixon since he came into the league. He's been one of the most underrated running backs ever that I've ever liked. He grinds it out, man. If you get Joe Mixon going here, and he's healthy, if you get him going here, you can actually control the clock. This is what I know. If you get bodies around Jared Goff, he's a different quarterback, and no one has really been able to do that yet this year. I don't understand why. Send the house at Jared Goff. I mean, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they don't have much. Sam Laporta's been disappointing this year. The truth of the matter is, they've been winning this game on the ground all year long. I would stack
Big
the
time.
box. I would stack the box. I would dare Goff to beat me, and if he beats me, so be it. You know what I mean? Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery are not running on me. I'm stacking the box. I'm bringing everyone up. I'll do single high safety, and then whatever happens, happens. I tried at least for a couple drives to see where it's at. We'll see. You know what I mean? I think D'Amico Ryans has done a good job. I think they've been super inconsistent. I think they need this win more, and so I'm going to flip here. I'm going to take the Texans plus 3.5. Is this Sunday Night Football?
Sunday
This is
night
Sunday Night
football.
Football. Dan, another reason why. Another reason why. The only game in town. Lights are on. Everyone's going to be fired up in Houston. You know what, man? I think this is a good bet. The more I'm talking about it, I think this is actually one of my better bets. The whole world's going to be on the Lions because the Lions have just been dominating everyone. However, styles make fights, man. And we can't forget about this Texans team. We can't. They've had a lot of injuries this year. I think they are healthy enough to win this game, and I'm going to flip and take them. And plus the 3.5 is just the cherry on top. Next.
All right. Now we have Monday Night Football. It is the Miami Dolphins going to Los Angeles. I like the over in this game, but I don't know. I also Tyreek Hill is like kind of iffy for this game now. I saw this morning.
It just came over on the Sleeper app that Mike McDaniel said if his body lets him play, he'll play. That doesn't sound like a vote of confidence to me.
No, not exactly. It almost sounds like if there's a miracle or something. I don't
He's
know.
asking for
And
Jesus
this
to heal his body or something.
this Dolphins team, man, is
There's
like
something else, man.
just kind of anemic. I feel
The
Mike
Suns
McDaniel is like
so
I don't
overrated.
know. I think
So
the seat is getting a
overrated.
little hot for him, if I'm being honest.
He could be gone. He's so overrated. If the Sun's not out and they're not playing in Miami, the Dolphins are useless. I'll never back off that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna take the Rams here. It's only 2 points.
It's
You know,
one.
it's like what have
It's
the
one.
Dolphins proven recently to? Yeah, what have the Dolphins proven recently
All
to
you have to tell,
be
all you have to do
deserving?
is win at home. That's it. Coming off a humongous win in
How
Seattle,
about that garbage referee interference, like kicking Puka Nakua out of that game?
that was
What a bunch
BS,
of
dude.
what a bunch of
And they
malarkey, man.
still won the game. Let me tell you something. The Rams are on their way back, man. Not that they were gone for very long. Sean McVay is a very good coach. Sean McVay is the second best coach in the National Football League.
Big
You
time.
cannot talk me off this. This is not a, this is one of my favorite bets. It really, really is. The Rams will find a way to win this game. Their players are ready. They're healthy. They're home, and it's -1. That's it. Just win, baby. What? Are you kidding me? You saw that ball that Stafford threw to win the game. Look at that. Look at that catch. That was a dime. That was a
He's having a
laser.
hell of a season. He's a Hall of
Matthew,
Famer.
he's a
He's
Hall of
he's
Fame player. Matthew Stafford's always been a G, man. He's the toughest. Him and Mahomes are the two toughest quarterbacks in the league. They play hurt. They're still accurate. I mean, he's a statue at 36 years old, but you cannot give him these weapons. Even a guy like Demarcus Robinson, who's a 3, you cannot give him these weapons at home under the lights Monday night with Kyron Williams and a rejuvenated defense. They've done an excellent job of replacing Aaron Donald. Excellent. It could not go better. Fisk and Verse have been wonderful for that defense. They're young, they're hungry, and they win games they're not supposed to win. I am telling you, this is one of my favorite bets this week. I'm putting everything I have on the Rams. Dude, the Dolphins are absolute frauds. And if Tyreek Hill doesn't play, a wrap. It is a wrap. Tua's brains are mush. They're flying across the country. This team, without the sun being out, it's like their weakness. It's like their weakness. If they're not home and the sun's out, they're absolutely frauds. Frauds. I don't believe in the Dolphins at all. I'm taking the Rams here -1, and I'm taking them with confidence. Y'all can do what you
big
want to
time.
do. The Dolphins are garbage. That's a slate. This just came over the wire. Friend of the show, Dan the Man, hit me up with this for all you guys who are interested in that Niners Tampa Bay game. Sean Smith, referee for this game. San Francisco is 6-0 when he is on the field and 5-1 against the spread. Now, you say what you want to say about stuff like this. It could be coincidences. I don't think a lot of this stuff is coincidental, honestly. I really don't. Referees call games differently for different teams. You see it all the time. Hell, you saw what happened on Thursday Night Football. A guy like Joe Burrow, who is an absolute dog, but so passive and just kind of very meek when it comes to the referees. Dude, if that's Patrick Mahomes back there, 10,000 flags are being thrown. It matters. These refs throw flags depending on the type of player you are. And it could be the type of thing where a flag that doesn't get thrown or gets thrown helps San Francisco cover this game. I like the Niners even more in that game now. Little tidbit from Dan the Man in Long Island coming your way, guys. Let's see the Wizards ticket.
Here's my teaser best bet. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers +9.5. I love that, man.
I
Against
love that. Oh my God.
to get the Buffalo Bills +3, and I took the Philadelphia Eagles just to win against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this feels like a sure bet, you know what I mean? But
That
it
is
feels
a
like that every week.
absolute lock bet. My goodness. Thing is, teases don't pay, and they call it a tease for a reason. But I cannot see this not
Get a
hitting.
little bit more than double your money. I feel like it's a
Uh,
pretty good value.
I can't see this not hitting. I really cannot. How are the Eagles losing to Dallas? The Bills are getting points, really, from a horrible Colts team led by a geriatric quarterback, and then the Steelers getting 9.5. That would shock me. This would shock me if this does not hit, Spencer. I love this ticket. World of Matches bringing the heat, you guys, every Saturday. It's week 10. My goodness. I hope you guys are really enjoying what's happening because before you know it, it's just going to be the
Yeah.
playoffs. And then the season's going to be over. No season goes faster than the NFL season. No season. It flies by. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Thanks for the likes, the subs. We appreciate all the love you guys are giving, and we hope you're making some money. Once again, as always, if you're the type of person that struggles with gambling, please be careful. Gambling.org is a real thing. Gamblers Anonymous is out there to help you. Me and Spencer, we do this for fun. I'm a waiter, he's a teacher. We just love football and we like talking sports. It keeps us close, but we're not looking to see anybody lose their livelihood about this, okay? So please be safe out there. Spencer, it's been a pleasure as always. You guys enjoy. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Enjoy the games.